Good morning, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns Podcast, and apparently, as you can tell, I have contracted the plague. Um, did get some happy mail this week, and it did come Monday, um, although the box from Jenny showed up on Saturday, but our post office is only open from 10 to 12, and I thought they were open till 3. So picked it up Monday. But I thought I would share my mail with you today. Miss Paulette sent me a lovely little card, and she sent a couple of goodies, some items that she makes. And it's a lovely little basket with a little Easter bunny in it. Of course, you know the Easter bunny, Paulette, next year will probably be sewn onto one of the baby hats that goes to the newborns. I'm just saying. That's the pattern we use for the little bunnies that we sew on the hats for Easter. Um, so, and then she sent a napkin ring holder. And this is absolutely adorable. I saw this pattern and I thought, I need to find some rings or something to do that with. But this is absolutely adorable. Thank you, Paulette. Thank you very much. And there it goes, off to the side. Jenny had sent me a note, and in the note, let me get that turned around, don't want you to see her info. She'd actually sent me an email because she had noticed that I like to receive, that I use a lot of scrap yarns. So she said, I've enclosed the yarn mentioned that is yarn I will never use, some scraps, some skeins. I've also included one of my amigurumi bears, and I hope that you will like her. Also enclosed are various buttons and things that maybe you can use on your various knit or crochet projects. All the best, Jenny Arata, Jenny's Arts and Crafts. And she included a card and it fell on the floor. So, very good at this today. But this is the bear. Is this not adorable? And look, she's got little pantaloons on. It is so cute. I have no idea where I'm going to put her. But she is now a fixture in our house. She may get to go up next to one of my dolls. When I was little, I wanted dolls, and the Sears book would come, and I'd ask for the doll, and my mother wouldn't give me that doll. She'd give me a different doll. Wanted those fancy dolls that you just you leave up in the box, So finally, I bought myself dolls when I got old enough. And in this one, there are 2 balls of some mohair acrylic mix. And the mohair is really good for using for the comfort dolls that we make. So that will go to good use. And this is some stone cotton, which is 52% cotton and acrylic. And this most likely will go for some baby hats. This time of year, we try to include some cotton and acrylic hats for the babies because the weather here. Put that over there. And she sent this big old bag. With some different skeins. And a couple of balls of scraps. And yes, we can use those scraps. These are some nice big thick scraps that I can use in hats. And then there are some different scraps there that we'll use in probably baby hats as well, but these will be for adult hats. I'll get that in that bag. And look at the color of this one. Isn't that a pretty color rose? And this is probably a 3-weight from the look and the feel of it. This will look good and go well with some baby sweaters. And then there is that lovely little mint color. And baby in the blue. Use that again for baby sweaters. And then there are 3 skeins of this. And this is Pentex Elite. If I remember correctly, it's also a baby weight yarn. Might be wrong. Maybe it's a little lighter. It's like Karen Simply Soft. It's not quite a 4-weight, but it's not quite a 3-weight either. So, it's a real pretty color of blue. And of course, that'll go to good use. So yes, Jenny, thank you for these. And that is such a pretty color. We have a lot of Amish in this area, so we make black sweaters for the Amish babies. But every once in a while, because it's a baby, the Amish are allowed to dress up their babies in different colors. So every once in a while you will get someone that will take a nice colored baby sweater. And then look at all these beautiful little items we'll be able to sew on baby hats. Okay, my husband's coming in, so let me stop this and I'll get this going back when he's left. Okay, I'm back. Don't remember which ones I showed you, which ones I didn't, so we'll just start over. Those lovely items, little butterflies, buttons, some regular little buttons, some sea animal buttons, sea critters, and some more different butterfly buttons. Some handmade with love buttons. Some cute little heart buttons. And then some different kitty buttons. Now the hats that we make for the hospital, we're allowed to sew on buttons for decoration, those kind of things. So yes, Jenny, thank you very much for those items. And here is Jenny's card. Let's see. Now, I have basically just two finished items, and they were the little baby sweater that I was commissioned to knit with the baby hat. So those are ready to go back to their prospective owner. Then the other thing that I had, I got the Jimmy Beans wool, and I wasn't expecting it, but I did get it, and so I started it. It is a market bag, and it utilizes the bean stitch, and this is supposed to, when you're finished, measure 13.5 by 3 inches tall. Mine does not. It's 13 by 2.5, and I'm a loose crocheter, so, but what I found interesting is it tells you out of that little ball of yarn, the cotton yarn that they sent you, that you needed to make sure you had 15 grams left over for next month. And I'm like, why didn't they just divide it? Tell you to use the bigger one, leave the smaller one for next month. So I went ahead and got that part done. And that is basically all that I have been able to get done. I have been working on a market bag, which is just a plain half double crochet. I've got one side done, working on the other side, and then it'll have the panel that goes down the side with the handles. Just a basic little thing. And I kind of wanted to, I've noticed a lot of people have been talking about Walmart's yarn going up in price, the Red Heart. And to be honest, I expected that about this time of year, if not, by September. Last September, Yarnspiration Spin Right bought out Coates and Clark, which makes Red Heart yarn. And so I expected those prices to go up. When Spin Right bought out Caron Yarn, all of their yarns and items went up within about 6 months of the purchase. So I did expect it to go up, and I don't expect it to come back down. Mostly because I think of the cost and the tariffs and those kind of things. That's what has caused the price to go up. Plus, I'm not real sure if Spinrite is continuing to process those in the American plants, or if they are continuing to contract through China and Turkey to make the Red Heart yarn. You just never know where they're going to contract, because money. They need to make a profit, in other words, to keep in business. So they're going to take their products to a low-cost area. And honestly, when you have places like Turkey and China where the person, may make $60 to $100 a month income, that's where those items are going to go. It's just the way it is. So don't expect Red Heart to go back down in prices. They are now part of the Yarnspiration family of yarns. And, yeah. Not a whole lot you can do about it. You either pay the price for it. They probably have the most versatile number of color combinations. So you have to make a decision. Just like everything. Make a decision. Now I have a couple of shout-outs. This shout-out was one that was done by Josh of iBohemian. So I'm going to, continue that one. And that is Baby K Crochet. She has some kitties that she shows off. She loves her kitties. And she has quite an interesting crochet story to tell. So go give her a look-see. And she is left-handed. I'm enjoying left-handed. I was telling my husband this arm injury, forced me to learn to crochet left-handed. And the one thing that I noticed is when I'm crocheting left-handed, I don't have to wear that thumb cot on this finger. Because of the way I'm holding things, it doesn't irritate that finger as much. So I'm kind of enjoying crocheting left-handed. Didn't think I would. I can't wait to get back to my right-handed. And I'll be honest, I can't I can't wait to get back to crocheting right-handed. But I've learned a new skill, and I plan on continuing to use it. So now I am ambidextrous crocheter. Another one that I recently found was Jennifer Adams, aka the Left-Handed Crocheter. Go check out her. She's got a couple of those out there. And there is Crochet Re-Creations by krislovescrochet. Now, I have to tell you, when I first was watching this, my first thought was, is anybody ready to scrumble? She does a lot of freeform crochet. And those of you that know about freeform crochet know that many times you start with a scrumble, which is a small patch of different stitches and yarns or whatever that you've thrown together, and you create something from that. So, I don't know why, but that's what came to my mind when I first watched her video. She does teach you how to make a crochet top, that I've been enjoying watching that series, with some math included, but she makes it fairly easy and not very painful to do. Of course, there's always math when you're making garments, so. And then there's someone that I just recently found, Lisa's Crochet. She is very new to crochet. I believe she only has 2 videos out. I didn't comment, Lisa, and I apologize for that, but I've been under the weather, so that's part of the reason I didn't comment, because, having the plague, that's what I tease in my house, having the plague. I can be up for 30 minutes to an hour, and then I've got to go to bed because I'm that sleepy. I can't hardly stay awake. So I'm watching in between the sleep breaks. And, yeah. That's it for the crochet part today. Now we're going to get into what in tarnation. This first one came from Gypsy Rose. And it is a little on the dark side, but I do find it interesting for one reason. When you are constantly making jokes about dying, having a stroke, those kind of things, when you actually have one, people may not recognize it because they're so used to you doing this. Apparently, Ian Cognito, he is a stand-up comedian. He was on stage and he just made a couple of jokes about having a stroke. When he went back to his chair, sat down in the chair, and kind of went back like this and went into what looked like some jerking moments. He actually had a massive heart attack on stage. People did not recognize that there was something serious going on for quite a few minutes, which, when you're having a heart attack, is detrimental. So that when they finally realized, the handlers that work with him daily realized there was something that was not quite right, they did rush to him and to give some aid. But he passed away. So that was kind of interesting. We don't really think about that, but, passed away on stage doing something he loved to do, comedy. So, you know, I always say I'd like to go quick or doing something I love. Oh, but yeah, so that one was a little dark, but I thought it was interesting. Then, of course, there's the one about the fellow a couple of years ago that broke into the house to pet someone's cat. My husband laughed when I was talking about that. He said, "That's you." And he's probably right. But, yeah, let's move on. The next one comes to us from Florida. There's a lot in Florida. Apparently, Florida has some strange things that go on there on a daily basis. Firefighters in Florida said they stopped to help what appeared to be an unconscious person late at night, discovered it was actually an 11-foot alligator. Miami Fire Rescue said the crew was heading back to the station about 11 p.m. when what they spotted appeared to be a person in distress in a residential neighborhood. As they got closer, they noticed that this was not a person, but actually an 11-foot alligator. The firefighters kept an eye on the reptile and summoned Miami police, who in turn called the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. For about an hour, they monitored the alligator as it continued to make its way further into the residential neighborhood. They said when the Florida Wildlife and Conservation Commission trapper arrived, just as the alligator had wandered into an elderly couple's backyard. He said the alligator broke through a chain fence to enter the yard. We watched that gator go through the fence like nothing. He said then the trapper decided to euthanize the big alligator due to safety concerns. The ground is wet, the alligator is wet. He didn't want to take a chance, so the trapper made the decision to put the alligator down. The alligator didn't even get a snack. Now, this next story comes from California. Police responded to reports of suspicious late-night noises in a California neighborhood, discovered 2 loose cows snacking on plants. The Escondido Police Department said officers were called to the neighborhood on Hidden Trails Road just before 3 a.m. Sunday on a report of suspicious noises. The officers arrived to find 2 cows of unknown origins eating plants in a residence yard. The police report said the San Diego Humane Society was called to the scene to help move the cows. "I think they're lovely. We never see cows up here," neighbor Jaime Rivera told KSWB TV. "I'm just wondering if they're going to bring their friends up here." Now this next one is kind of interesting. Pink-haired pony's presence on Quebec Island. A mystery Quebec residents have snapped photos of a mysterious pony with pink hair that has been spotted wandering loose on Montreal Island. Giles Brochure said he first spotted the white pony or mini horse with pink-colored mane Sunday night on Lake St. Helen, and a Facebook page he created for the equine. Savons Le Mini Chavel has since received reports and photos from multiple subsequent sightings. He said he and other witnesses don't know where the pony came from or whether it remains on the loose. I'm sorry, I cannot even pronounce this. Société du Parc Jean Drapeau, which oversees all functions on Le St. Helen said groundskeepers have been instructed to keep an eye out for the animal. A representative said officials are not aware of any sanctioned activities that would have involved the small equine. Next, we have the loose moose leads Canadian police to a stolen car. Police in Canada said a loose moose running through Newfoundland and Labrador ended up doing them a favor by leading them to a stolen vehicle. The Royal Newfoundland Constabulary, that's a mouthful, said several reports came in Saturday night about a moose heading south in St. John's. Police made multiple attempts to escort the moose back to the wooded areas in the north, but the animal kept giving the officers the slip. The RNC said the moose ended up giving police some assistance by leading them right to a vehicle that they recognized as having been reported stolen the previous day. The moose was last seen running into the Southside Hill woods. Moose have been known to visit St. John's in the past. One of the animals was spotted last year wandering around the city's airports. And that's it for What's in Tarnation. What in Tarnation? Okay, folks, I'm going to let you go. I will see you again soon. I probably won't do another podcast or beta until this weekend. I'm probably heading right back to bed. So I'll see you again soon. Everybody, remember, choose kindness.